There's a new drugstore makeup collaboration on shelves this summer, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet, so we're gonna try it today. This is the new Lottie London Outer Banks collection. If you don't already watch it, you may have at least heard of it. Outer Banks is a Netflix original show. I would say it's a teen drama, action, adventure, treasure hunt show. That's a very watered down synopsis. Please do not come for me if you're a big fan. I did watch the first 1.5 seasons. I kind of got close to the end of season 2, and I just don't think I'm the demographic for teen dramas anymore. But as you might be able to tell, the vibes are summery, they're beachy. It takes place in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, so kind of like East Coast island vibes. And the aesthetic is strong enough to potentially translate into a good makeup collection. So we're gonna open this up, but first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. This channel is dedicated to budget beauty. If that sounds like your vibe, hit subscribe and turn on the notifications. So this is currently available at CVS, both in stores and online, and then it will arrive at Walmart this June. So from this little description that it has here, we are definitely getting sun-kissed, glowing vacation skin, radiant luminous skin, glossy pouts. So we have 2 lip and cheek balms, a lip peptide treatment, an eye and face palette, a gold multi-purpose dry oil, and a glow brick. I'm gonna get my bangs out of the way in a roller. So I wanna jump into the Pogues eye and face palette. So they have 2 classes in the show where the Pogues are the working class family teens, and then the Kooks are the country club teens, I guess you could call them. But yeah, kind of the class difference is a big part of the show, at least how I remember it. Interesting. This is not the color collection that I necessarily expected. We have 2 rather bright looking blushes, 3 eyeshadows down the middle that lean neutral, and then I guess here at the top you can use these either as eyeshadows or face highlights. Something I find interesting is that the eye shades do lean cooler. We have a cool mauve and a cool brown, which I didn't expect considering this is supposed to be kind of a bronzy sun-kissed. Going to quickly prep my eyes with the Moira Waterproof Peptide Eyeshadow Primer. I guess I'll tap into Pogues in Paradise, which is this mauve-y shade. I think the main thing I was afraid of with this collection is that it was just gonna be a neutral makeup collection with Outer Banks themed packaging, which I do feel like a lot of brands fall victim to, where they try to get a really exciting collaboration going, but then the product itself isn't exciting. And because the girls in this show, they all have more of a natural bronzy look, I was like, okay, well, that just sounds like any old summer makeup collection. So I will say I'm maybe going into this a little bit skeptical. Really decent pigmentation there, even though I'm diffusing it and blending it out. I can't tell if the eyeshadow is shimmery or if I used a dirty brush. Hold on. Nope, this is a matte eyeshadow and I definitely used a dirty brush. Well, that's okay, because I was gonna add some shimmery shades to the mix anyway. But for a matte, this is decently creamy and pigmented. All right, going into Treasure Hunt, which is this kind of cool cocoa brown. So far, I really like this matte shadow formula. I think this is the first Lottie London eyeshadow I've ever tried. I've used their lip oils, their mascara, and one of their cream blush stick formulas, which I liked, but I really haven't tried that much from the brand. Okay, let's add a little bit of bronziness to this look. I'm gonna go into Going Full Kook, which is this kind of bronze. I guess it was meant to be a highlight. I'm not sure. There are no rules here. We're gonna use it as a shadow. Ooh, yes, 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 I love that. I'm really surprised at this collection of cooler tones. That actually does make this collection a bit more interesting to me, because I feel like so many summer sun-kissed collections are warm, 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 and this is not leaning warm or orangey at all. Especially after finding out that I actually have cool toned skin during my color analysis, and that cool tones are the most flattering on me. I've really been trying to seek them out while also, embracing the fact that I love bronzy makeup, and I feel like this is kind of working for me. This shimmer shade looks so smooth on my eyelids, and I love how it's catching the light because it's supposed to be a face highlight, but I really like it. Now I'm kind of dying to go into this shimmery champagne highlight called No Pogue Left Behind. It's definitely more glittery than the bronze one. I'm just gonna get that in the inner corner here. I am surprisingly more into this than I thought I would be. I mean, I know that this is generally still a very neutral eye look. You might be like, Miranda, why are you getting so excited? But I really do think it's because of the lack of cool options in this sort of category. Okay, this shimmery champagne is so beautiful on the eyes. It might be a little bit glittery for my taste in terms of using it on the face, but in the eyes, it just creates this gorgeous glow and shimmer that's not overboard and it's not foily, so it blends into the rest of my eye look really well. Okay, Lottie London, you may have convinced me that this collection was a good idea. Maybe. Here's what those highlight shades look like swatched on their own. Yeah, those would both look very beautiful on the face as well. And honestly, I'm not usually a big fan of glitter highlights, but that is pretty damn beautiful. Now, there are other cheek products that I may want to try, so I'm just gonna swatch these cheek colors really quickly. We might come back to them. This first one is Lucky Compass. Holy cow! That is a red blush. Interesting. Very smooth and very blendable. And then this one is Kook Princess, very Barbie-esque. Wow, that is really pigmented for such a light blush. Still blendable, really, really pretty cool toned pink. So this palette is $10.99 currently at CVS. I would say that's worth it because you're getting 3 eyeshadows, 2 highlights that can double as eyeshadows, and 2 blushes. Pretty good deal. Just gonna finish up my eyes really quickly with a brown liner and some mascara. So I'm using the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in Brouhaha. I'm just smoking that out a little bit in my outer corner to give that sort of dreamy, elongated Madeline Klein eye. She's one of the main characters, the blonde. She was also in Glass Onion, which I really liked. And then I will be using the Lottie London Super Fake Mascara. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of always forget about this mascara and then I come back to it like, how could you forget about this? It's like a comb mascara and the bristles are so tiny and short, but they still do a great job at keeping my lashes separated. Seriously, I need to use this mascara more because look, before, after. It really does bring the drama without uncurling my lashes or making them droop. And it's less than $8 at Walmart. Like, come on. So good. So I'm noticing now that this Treasure Map Glow Brick is actually labeled as an eyeshadow palette as well. I assumed it was a bronzer highlighter duo. Oops. So I will go ahead and swatch these shades so we can see what we were missing out on. So the top 2 in this palette are bronzy shimmery and the bottom 2 are creamy mattes. Ooh, the texture is so soft. Yeah, this texture feels kind of like the highlight shades in the other palette. That's shade 1, definitely on the warmer side with this palette for sure. So for those of you who do want a warm toned summer makeup palette, here we go. I just think that the other one is a little more interesting being cooler. So here are the shades in this palette. This kind of nude shade almost matches my skin tone, so can't see it very much, but very orangey bronzy, I would say. Now this one is $8.99, which I think is actually a bit high considering it's a quad. For just $2 more, this palette I feel like gives you a lot more to work with. So I am glad that we dipped into this one first because I'm not sure I would have liked these orange tones on my skin. I gotta say, out of the entire collection, this product intrigued me the most. We have 2 shades of their lip and cheek balm. This first one looks like it's gonna be best as a blush. It's called Dusky Pink, kind of a medium mauve shade. But this one is called Beach Bronze. I cannot get over how beautiful and glowy that looks. I'm really hoping that that translates to the face and that it's not too orange. Let's try it. I'm using this Milani, I think it's their cream blush brush. A nice dense brush for cream and balmy products like this. Here goes nothing. Better for worse, we're putting this on the face. I'm gonna kind of focus that on the perimeters, a little bit like as a bronzer. Oh, that is so pigmented and radiant. May need to reevaluate how much I just loaded onto my brush. All right, all right, all right. I mean, it's beautiful. It's definitely warm. I will say, as much as I over applied on this side, it is blending out pretty nicely. Yeah, this is more the vibe. You really don't need to go any further than this, and I wiped off so much product on the back of my hand. Wow, that is glowy. It's giving dewy for sure. So it goes beyond being radiant, and I do think that you end up with the dewy look. I'm not mad at it though. I mean, it's fitting the theme, right? Like you just left the beach, you're sun-kissed, you are a little dewy. I will acknowledge that it's probably a little bit warm for my skin tone. It is pulling just the teensiest bit orange, which is why I would kind of keep it mostly on my cheeks, and then I just put whatever was left up on my forehead. Now I will say with this shade, because I'm not sure if the pink one had shimmer, this shade has shimmer on top of the balm, making it so radiant and dewy. And I do feel like maybe it's accentuating the texture that I have in this area just a bit. I don't think it makes my skin look bad. It's just not smoothing over the texture, if that makes sense. It's not like trying to conceal it, so it's just there. That's my skin. It is what it is. Okay, with a clean brush, I'm gonna go into the pink, put some on the back of my hand to make sure I'm not over applying this time. Oh, that is, that's a little bit beyond dew. Maybe we weren't supposed to combine these two products. Here's the thing though, I think it's a really pretty blush balm. I like the neutral pink. I think it's gonna be flattering on a lot of different skin tones. The dewiness is like max dew. This is, you are on the beach and it is warm. That's what it's giving. I mean, you would have to apply really sparingly to not have it be overwhelming like this. And then in that case, in terms of the pink shade, you're not getting a lot of color. Let me see what just a little bit of the bronze shade looks like, because I felt like we got way more color with this one. Yeah, you can apply sparingly with the bronze shade a lot easier so that you don't go as overboard with the slickness. This one's more pigmented. Even just those two taps now, if I were to just blend that out, that's normal. Yeah, I don't know if the pink one has enough pigmentation to apply enough to get the color without overdoing it in the dew. Overdoing the dew, and definitely maybe not necessarily two that you want to put together at the same time. I am a little curious about putting the bronze shade on the lips though, because I forgot that this was a lip product as well. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I'm a fan of how that looks on my lips. It kind of just added gold shimmer. Let's see what the pink one looks like on the lips. You know, the pink one just feels more slick in general, in the jar as well, but especially on my lips, I can feel how much more like emollient it is. I almost prefer this on the lips than on the cheeks. Now, what do we do about this situation? You know what it looks like? It looks like I am on the run trying to find a treasure. We are on brand. We're on brand. We're on the run and I'm sweaty. Let me see. I don't want to powder because powdering over such a radiant product is going to give cake. But I do want to take a clean brush and sort of like pick up excess product and just see if we can tone this down a little bit. There's absolutely nothing on this brush. Okay, I think that worked really well actually, because we maintained the color. It's still very radiant, but not as sweaty, let's call it what it is, as this side. Yeah, okay, we've made it a lot more wearable. All right. So just a tip, in case you've purchased this and you're like, whoa, how do I not make this look crazy? Still a really, really pretty effect on the skin without just that top sheen layer. Very, very happy with this. I think my skin looks great, not gonna lie. And these are $9.99 each. I'm very excited about this and how it's looking in the light. This is the Gold Multi-Purpose Dry Oil. It is squalane oil. Look at that shine and shimmer. So this says you can apply it to the face, body, or your hair, maybe to add a little bit of shimmer that catches in the sun. Could be a good festival product, but I want to try it on my décolletage. It comes out very sparingly, like literally drop by drop, and you can't squeeze the bottle because it's glass. Okay, I got maybe like 5 or 6 drops here. Oh, this smells so good. It just smells like beachy, like a little banana coconutty. Oh, it's not as like intense as I thought it would be. It definitely adds noticeable shimmer, but it's not super in your face. And I kind of like that it's not crazy shimmery because you could definitely use this as an everyday product. Let me put some on my arm and maybe you'll be able to see it a little bit better on camera. That's how it looks. It feels really nice on the skin and it sinks in really quickly. It doesn't feel residuey at all. Can you see any of the sparkle? I mean, it really isn't that overwhelmingly sparkly. This is $10.99. I think it's a pretty generous bottle for that. You're getting 1.69 fluid ounces. I think it's just gonna that just sprayed me a little bit. It's gonna depend on your taste. There might be some people who say, if I'm using a shimmering body oil, I wanna see the shimmer. And there might be other people who always want to try a shimmering body oil but don't want to look like a Cullen vampire, but I'm not mad at it. Last product, we have the P4L Lip Peptide Nourishing Lip Treatment. I'm pretty sure this is just clear. Maybe I should have put this on at the beginning. It's made with peptide, shea butter, vitamin E, and it is vegan. Just a clear balm. Let me wipe off what I have on my lips. It's thicker than a balm. I mean, it's called a lip treatment. It almost has the consistency of a gloss, but not sticky at all. But it is on the thicker side. So I think people with super dry lips might like this, which includes me. I always have very dry lips. We've been over this. Yeah, I would say this gives the effect of a really shiny, clear gloss, but then you're getting the nourishing effects of those ingredients. And this is $8.99. All right, bangs can come down now. Ooh. Holding the surfboard makes me feel like I'm accepting a Teen Choice Award. So what do we think of the Lottie London Outer Banks collection? I will say, I love the finished look. This is definitely a look I can see myself wearing a lot in summer when I don't want a no makeup look necessarily, but I still want fresh faced, I still want glowy. And after doing that clean brush trick, I really like how the cheek balms look because they're still dewy, still glossy, just not overboard. We haven't crossed that line. So I want to know what you think about the products and how they applied, but I also want to know what you think about this collaboration in general and if you feel that the products really translate the aesthetic and vibe of the show and it's not just all about the packaging. I do think Lottie London was thoughtful when it came to choosing what products to include in this collection so that it made sense. It's one of my biggest pet peeves when makeup brands have a collaboration and they put out the most random products that don't necessarily relate to the IP and they just put it in nice packaging and call it a day. I don't think that's what they did here. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. If you want to keep watching, join me over in this video next where I try the new Wet n Wild Soft Blur Matte Lipsticks. My opinion's kind of mixed. We'll talk all about it. I'll see you over there. Bye!